While Geoff's oceanfront property has been in his life since childhood, his wife Jan feels it has always been with her too, in her heart. Embraced by land and sea, the home calms the spirit. It's a sense they are overjoyed to share with their friends, dogs, and much of the local bird population, and one that comes easily thanks to the sublime surrounding beauty. But first, we'll visit Darlene. Childhoods spent by the water are truly unforgettable. Darlene's enthusiasm surrounding her own maritime upbringing is what steered her and her husband Marti back to the coast, where they purchased their initial cottage, sight unseen, confirming only that the ocean was within view. Now, as full-time residents, they're settled into their forever home, surrounded by family and the mesmerizing seascapes that drew them there.
Yeah, maybe you should come home. You've been saying it for so long. Let the water lift you from the city's undertow. Yeah, maybe you should come home.
Water, deep, flowing, mysterious, ever-changing yet constant. The inspiration of artists and adventurers. It's the foundation of life. We are drawn to it, to watch it, listen to it, immerse ourselves, and for those who choose, to live beside it.
Maybe you should come home.
My mom and dad both were born and raised here in this area. We vacationed here with our family and our children almost every summer. Once the opportunity came that we could move here, it was a no-brainer.
36 years ago when Darlene and I met, she was so excited to show me the Maritimes here, so we just spent a lot of time on the shore and I just fell in love with it. Instantly turned into a Nova Scotian.
When my dad fell ill, we wanted to have a place where we could bring him to visit his family.
I found this house, this cottage, and what I did, I asked one of my children to see if it's near water. And as soon as they said, yes, Dad, you can see the water from the house, without even coming down here, we bought the house. We had an uncle do a walkthrough, but yeah, if you can see the Atlantic, you're golden.
So once we had the cottage, which was our summer home, where we could come and vacation and bring our children also, 3 out of our 5 daughters ended up buying homes here. And once the third one bought a house here, I said to Marty, should we have a conversation? Do we need to move? Do we want to move? And it was a pretty short conversation before we said, yes, we're going to move here. This piece of land came available behind it, and it was the perfect place to build our forever home. The design process of this house was miraculously simple. I didn't know I was designing a house. I just knew that I was drawing on a piece of paper what I wanted to have in my home. A year ago, we were very excited to plan our daughter's wedding. So she actually got married in this spot, had her tents, and we had a big family outdoor wedding right here. Once we moved, 3 of our daughters are now settled here, and then a niece came with her family, and now my daughter's partner, his mother has bought a house here, and it's getting really exciting. When you walk into the house, I love the big wide hallway that it just comes and brings you right to the windows, and you get this magnificent view.
The initial design of this house was a lot of windows. I wanted to put as many windows in this house as possible, and that just catches you, right? I always think there's lights on in the house, but it's just the sun coming through the windows. And as you turn to the right, there's the dining room table and the kitchen with its granite counter. The kitchen was really important to Darlene, that she got exactly what she wanted. She loves to bake and cook, and that's her gift. So that when we have company, it ties into Darlene, and she can be part of everything if she's cooking, and all of us as a family can work together. We have a large family, so being in the kitchen and being in the dining room, men and women, we all kick in as one.
We stayed in a house once that the master bedroom was right off of the great room, and I loved that, and I wanted to put that here in this house.
As soon as you walk in the bedroom, it's just got that vast open space. a walk-in closet. Darlene has like a makeup table. We put custom shelves in. Other side of the bedroom is the bathroom. You walk in, we have a jacuzzi. We have a shower that'll hold up to probably 6 people, although it's only the 2 of us.
When designing the kitchen, a thing that was important to me was ovens. There's actually 4 ovens in the kitchen, which seems a little excessive to some people, but I love to cook and I love to bake. And there's times that 2 ovens just don't cut it. So 4 is going to be just perfect.
It's all come together really good. It's very spacious and exactly what we wanted.
Special memories while we were building is that we're actually walking around where my daughter's dance floor was, you know, and where she got married, and I always have those memories.
I think the moment for me personally that we were home, and this is exactly what we wanted, was the first night we slept in bed when we moved in, and I was looking out the top windows and I could see the stars, and I just thought, this is it, we're home.
My favorite place when you first come into town and you crest around the hill and all you see is ocean. You see ocean almost as far as you can look both ways, and it overlooks the entire town, and it's always been a sense of home.
When we designed the house, the outside was very important to me. Not for as much as cosmetics, but just for reliability. We had a hurricane come through here last September, and so as we were designing, that was always in the back of my head. The shingles have to be the best, the fascia, whatever we're building has to stand. And so that was very important.
In designing the exterior, that was really Marty's domain. It was his expertise, but an important thing to me was the black windows instead of going with all white. The main reason we wanted black was because inside there's really no place to hang pictures, and so really the windows are what you're going to be looking at. I knew I wanted light walls and light trim, and so if it was white windows, it would all look pretty sterile.
My favorite view, hands down, is just sitting on our deck, looking at the shore, and just having our coffee or whatever beverage we're having, just enjoying the ocean.
My favorite view from the exterior is walking back from the point and seeing the front windows. You know, so many of them, and just facing the ocean, and it just looks majestic.
There's so many windows, I feel like the inside and the outside are one. It just feels like that's such an openness with this house.
The gazebo is my favorite thing outside. I always knew that I wanted a gazebo there and something sturdy and a deck underneath it. And our carpenter was out there doing our sidewalk when I mentioned, you know, that I would love to have a gazebo, and he just said, we'll do it tomorrow. We love the gazebo. We have our coffee there sometimes in the morning, we have wine at night, and we have dinner in the afternoon. We love spending time out there.
The neighbors are so wonderful here. You feel like you're home with family. I do a lot of fishing down here. I do a lot of fishing by myself, and it's just me and the ocean, and it's almost spiritual, just listening to it and the sun and the seagulls, and it's very deep and personal for me.
Marty and I have always loved playing chess with each other. We like playing games. We've spent our 35 years of marriage, believe it or not, without a television. Playing games, playing cards, spending time together like that has always been important.
Chess has been a very big thing in Darlene and I's marriage for 35 years. I would come home from work. At lunchtime, I'd have 30 minutes. Darlene would have a sandwich for me. We'd play a game of chess as quick as we can, then I'd go back to my job.
Playing chess in front of the ocean just takes it to a different level. We just kind of gaze out. Sometimes you have to bring one or the other back into the game because you get mesmerized by the ocean, but it does bring it to another level of peacefulness.
We have this chessboard set up in front of the fireplace. So on the cold nights, we turn the fireplace on, we play chess in front of the fire, and then we'll just be looking at the shore, and yeah, it's very beautiful. We have a bench set up at the ocean.
We love going there in the mornings, sometimes really early to watch the sunrise.
Last year we were bringing big crafts of coffee down. That's how long we'd sit there for. It's a piece of heaven that we're very grateful for. When I get here in the summer, and now my kids I notice do the same thing, not all of them, but I'll go to the shore and I'll just get water in my hand and I'll just taste the salt. And I just like that. It just lets me know that I'm home, I'm with the shore.
It just feels like where I belong. It feels like my haven.
When I get home, I like to look at the ocean. I almost feel like I need to say hello to it in a quiet way. I just need to connect with the ocean. And ever since we've moved down here, I need to look at the ocean in the morning and just kind of acknowledge it because it's just such a big, important part of our lives.
I can't see me ever leaving here. 3 of my children have moved here, and the other 2 have both expressed interest that they want to be here also. Family's a big part of home. Our kids are in and out of our house all the time. The community is tight-knit. We look after one another, we love one another. So I can't see me ever leaving.
Home means everything to me. It's who Darlene and I are. We don't live in a house, we live in a home.
I would guess that people live by the water first and foremost for the peacefulness and the serenity.
The main thing that we're after, we call it the 90 factor. We want to live in this house when we're 90. And so our windows, the washer and dryer's on the same level, no carpets. We want to be holding hands, sitting at the point when we're 90.
When I came here at the age of 10, there was just an old house. The roof was sagging, so we rebuilt it. We made it into a prize. During the 1960s, I ran this place as a little farm, a hippie back-to-the-land farm. We left, went about our lives, and when we came back in '97, the house had burned down. There was nothing. Everything was gone except a little shack, which is still there down by the water, where we kept our goat. That is all that remains from that era. In 1997, Jan and I commissioned an architect, and he designed this house inspired by local architecture. And voila, here we are in the heaven.
We rented an RV, which is so not us, but we rented an RV and we drove it down the little laneway, and then we got out, and then Geoff showed me this property. And I mean, all my life I've wanted to be by water. And to this day, I can't believe that in almost every view you see water. Water's in my heart. It's my heartbeat, it's my life, and I can't believe that Geoff brought me here to live by and in my heartbeat.
I did know from the age of 10, I knew that this was where I wanted to be. My parents' ashes are spread here, and on that plaque, there is an engraved saying, "Our souls have sight of that great sea from which we came." And that's exactly how I feel too.
So when you walk to our house, the first thing you see is our incredible door that was actually painted by a Tibetan refugee monk. The overall experience of the house is the view, because everywhere you look, there's a view. The house is 3 floors, so downstairs it's primarily a dog apartment. And up the stairs is my office. So I have an incredible view of foxes that go through the forest and then the water. You walk through the hallway and you see Geoff's office, which is also the sunroom. And it's just filled with plants. And then the main bedroom, which we also have a fireplace, which is fantastic. But the unique thing about the house is you go across sort of a bridge and then you come to the guest room. And the guest room, it embraces you as you walk in. It has its own bathroom, it has its own deck. And so many of our friends come to our place to stay in the guest room because it's private, it's quiet, and it's a retreat, kind of a healing spot. And almost any item in the house is not there for beauty, but it's there for the memories.
There's a lot of paintings of my father's in this house. Just past the kitchen is you see our array of bird feeders. It's become a bird center. My favorite spot on the house, I think now, is where we have our breakfast every day looking at those bird feeders. It's hypnotic.
Everywhere you go, dogs are allowed to go. So it has that sense about it.
The whole house is full of color that Jan has provided, which is extraordinary because she's completely colorblind.
It's true.
It's true. What's interesting about the kitchen is that it has all these workstations which bring out the collaborative nature of preparing meals. So actually, 5 people can simultaneously work at different workstations in the kitchen. It's small but mighty.
We drive up our road, and then the view at the top of the road is this beautiful bay with sometimes the sailboat going by. And then we turn into our driveway, and it's not paved intentionally, so it's part of the environment. And you drive down the road, and I see a bay with all the water, and I can't believe I live here. I can't believe that I can share this with people.
I almost hate to go away, to leave it. And it really is home.
I think I have a favorite view of the exterior of the house, and it's when you stand on the dock and you look back up and you see the house, and it looks like it's been there forever. And it looks very much like a kind of house you would see in Europe. And its combination of buildings is most beautiful from the dock.
When we first started working with the architect, my dad was still alive and in his 90s, healthy as a horse. First designs of the house included a whole addition out the side, which was going to be my dad's domain. Unfortunately, my dad died the year before we built the house. So the architect took out his scissors and lopped off that whole part of the house. And when the house was built, that side, that view that Jan and I both love from the dock, had no sunroom, had no kennel, had no balcony off the guest room. It was a blank wall, and it looked like there had been an amputation, which in fact there was. And within a year or two, we went back to the architect and said, we really think that the house needs something else on that side. And we need a kennel, we need a sunroom, and we need a deck. So he designed this piece, this addition on the side, which absolutely completed it for me. My dad was born in Boston in 1903 or 1904 and didn't come here until 1909, and the place became really important to him. But life drew him away, and he never really got to spend the amount of time that he wanted to here. So it became, just as Jan kind of bought into my love of this place, so my mother bought into my father's love of this place. And when she died, her ashes were spread just up on the hill behind the house. And a few years later, when my dad died, he also was cremated and his ashes joined hers.
So living by the water absolutely makes me capable of doing all that I do. days are long. And when I've just had, you know, your 8th Zoom call and you can swing and look at that water, and it's always changing. Like sometimes there's white caps, sometimes it's glass, sometimes the moon shines and it's like unbelievable. So it provides me sort of with a peace. But the other thing is, because we have dogs, I can't stay in my office. I have to get up, I have to walk the dog or choose to walk the dogs. And so there's this incredible connection to the environment, to the life, to the animals that keeps my work-life balance way better than if I was living in the city.
It's in a natural amphitheater, so the water collects and goes down right by the wharf. And there's an underground reservoir there and with limitless amounts of beautiful fresh water.
And what's great is that we see the sunrise every morning into our bedroom, which is incredible. But as winter comes, we get to see the sunset as well.
This place has always been a farm. We love growing things, and it is a great source of rejuvenation as the seasons go by, and a source of food. And you know where it's from, you know that it's organic, you know what went into it. It's a wonderful thing for the spirit and the tummy. The most valuable treasure that nature gives us free of charge is, for me, the pfefferling or chanterelles. And these beautiful little yellow mushrooms that grow up late in the summer, and you could just chop off the root and put them in some butter. So good. We love the forest. It's so much a part of our lives.
And we've made paths through the forest, so you can walk all the dogs and you never have to go on the road. I've always wanted a place, since our early days when we had absolutely no money and we couldn't afford to have people over for dinner for anything, and we were invited to somebody's house on Thanksgiving. We didn't even have a turkey or chicken or anything. And I've never forgotten that. So for me, it's paying it forward. So I wanted a house that was incredibly welcoming for our families, because we have families that come and spend the time of the summer with us, and for friends that just need to know that they're valued. That's what's important.
Home is what you can share with people.
It's where I can invite people to come in, sit down, and I cook them a meal. So this encapsulates that, but also we have the gift of this environment to give to our friends, which I love.
The sea really puts us in contact with all that primal energy of nature in a way that living inland for me does not. And I think that that's the draw. We really need that. We want that. It feeds our spirit. The house is on the very spot where the old house was, and it is connected through time to previous generations, and architecturally by design it is. And we have a wonderful home, and we do share it, and we get great pleasure out of doing so. It fills our hearts to do that. What was of value to what went before, we knew would be of value to people now who needed a place as a haven.
Whether nestled alongside a riverbank or perched high above a distressed ocean, living on the shore has its perks. But beautiful views are only the beginning. The sights, sounds, and sensations of the water are constant in their impact, improving moods, perspectives, and lives. To exist and grow on its edge is extraordinary, an experience made even sweeter when shared with the people we love.